Okay, so yan, for 2 days, hindi ka magkakaroon ng face-to-face classes this April 15 and 16 as announced by the DepEd Nationals. Okay, so we're just be having tawag dyan, modular distant learning. Okay, so in this, nag-record po ako ulit. I mean, this material that I will be uploading in my YouTube channel will guide you kung paano maiintindihan yung susunod natin topic which is the Charles Law, the second gas law. So the focus of this discussion is for you to learn the relationship between temperature and volume. So ang hina-highlight po ng second, the gas law, which is the Charles law, is yung relationship ng temperature and volume. Okay? So our goal is for you to use the temperature-volume relationship to determine the final temperature or volume when the pressure and amount of gas are constant. So dalawa lang po ha, temperature and volume. So yung amount of gas and pressure, we kept them constant, meaning to say wala tayong pakialam sa kanila. Okay? As highlighted in this slide, if we increase the temperature of a gas sample, 'di ba? Kapag ininit natin yung isang material, obviously yung mga particles nila ay gagalaw. Okay? So yung motion ng mga particles natin ay magalaw po as shown in this animated picture. So, yun yung sinasabi natin na kinetic molecular theory na kapag in-increase natin yung temperature, yung mga gas particles ay magkakaroon din ng masyadong paggalaw. So, tataas yung tinatawag nating kinetic energy. If the amount and pressure of the volume of the gas is held constant, okay, the volume of the container will also increase. So, kapag tinaasan natin yung temperature ng isang material, for example, a gas sample, hindi lang tataas yung kinetic energy nila, okay, but the volume of the said container will also increase. So, yun yung pinaka-idea ng sinasabi natin na Charles Law. But we will discuss them as we proceed with this discussion. Before we jump to the second gas law, let's have first a recap. So, nung nakaraan na nalaman nyo na yung unang gas law, which is the Boyle's law. And according to that law, it states that at constant temperature, the volume of gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. Okay? So, meaning to say, kapag ang volume ng gas ay umakyat, yung pressure ay bababa. O kapag umakyat yung isa, bababa yung isa. Kapag mababa yung isa, aakyat yung isa. That's what we mean by inversely proportional. And also, we have talked about the application of the Boyle's law equation, which is this one. So ito yung tinatawag natin na Boyle's law equation, and I hope natatandaan pa din po ito. So the product of the initial pressure and the initial volume is equal to the product of the final pressure and the final volume. Also, wag din kakalimutan natin yung mga applications ng Boyle's law. Okay? Para hindi nyo makalimutan, yung Boyle's law ay parang balikan natin yung sa case ng bubbles, di ba? So, yung mga fish or school of fish underwater, di ba? Kapag nasa ilalim yung mga isda, okay? Nag-create, hindi lang nasa ilalim, but kapag nasa tubig yung mga isda, they tend to create bubbles. So, itong bubbles na to na nasa taas, okay, ay malaki relatively sa bubble na nasa baba. Eh, bakit ba ganyan? So, sabi natin, 'di ba, kapag sa pinakailalim ng tubig, ang pressure ay napakataas. Napakataas ng pressure. So, kapag mataas ang pressure, we know that the volume is also tawag dyan, napakababa. Kasi they are inversely proportional. So, yung nasa taas na bubbles, that bubble experience lesser or less pressure compared to the bubble present below. So, kapag mababa ang pressure, we know na mataas ang volume. So, tandaan lang po yan ha. Kinalaman ng pressure at volume they are inversely proportional. Kapag mababa ang pressure, mataas ang volume. Kapag mataas ang pressure, mababa ang volume. So much for that. I hope naintindihan nyo na yung tinatawag natin na Boyle's Law. So, itong task na binigay ko last time ay checkan na lang po natin kapag nag-resume na yung classes natin on Wednesday. So, I hope yung dalawang problems na to ay nasagot. Po, if you still need some clarification of this, again po, just watch the video that I uploaded in connection to the Boyle's Law para mas maintindihan nyo kung paano nag-solve ng problem involving Boyle's Law. So let's have first some tests po, bago tayo mag-proceed dun sa Charles Law. So number 1, which among the units of measurement below can be the correct unit of volume? So you have options A, B, C, at D. Sa apat na to, alin kaya yung pinaka-unit na ginagamit natin sa volume? Okay, that's right. It's letter C. Liter, milliliter, cubic meter, and cubic centimeter are units used for volume. Now, what about the second graph, a second question, wherein we have the graph of Boyle's law is known as pressure volume graph. Which of the following is a hyperbolic graph that depicts Boyle's law? So you have 4 graphs. Alin po ba dito yung nagpapakita ng Boyle's law? Okay, that's also correct. That's letter A. Bakit letter A? Because nagkakaroon ng pagbaba, di ba? Okay, so parang it decreased to the right. And alam naman natin na the volume and the pressure are inversely related. So, ibig sabihin po, kapag tumataas yung volume, yung pressure ay bumababa. So, yung letter A supports that idea. Now, for numbers 3 and 4, consider the problem below. Let me read the problem. At 0 degrees Celsius and 5 atmosphere, a given sample of the gas occupies 75 liter. Now, the gas is compressed to a final volume of 30 liter at degrees Celsius. Now, what is the final pressure? So, take note ha, ang tinatanong dito yung final pressure. So, therefore, in number 3, which of the following formula will be used to solve the given problem? Okay, remember that the Boyle's law equation, we have P sub 1 times B sub 1 is equal to P sub 2 times B sub 2. So, kung meron tayong P sub 2, ang sagot dito sa number 3 ay, okay, that's correct, letter A. In computing for the final pressure, you just need to multiply the initial pressure by the initial volume, and the product of those two will be divided by the final volume. So, kung yan ang formula, ano na po yung sagot dito? Okay, so, imumultiply mo yung P1. Nasaan po ba siya ng P1? Okay, that's 5. Tama, 5 ATM. So, nasaan ng B1? We have 75 liters. So, 5 times 75, ang sagot dyan ay i-divide mo ng V sub 2, which is 30 liters. So, 5 times 75 divided by 30, the answer is letter B, 12.5 ATM. So, that's the answer to that problem. So, the final pressure is 12.5 ATM. Now, for the last question, in the case of soda bottles or cans, all of us apply Boyle's law, but unintentionally, okay? So note that when you open the bottle of soda quickly, the gas rushes from everywhere in the form of foam, causing a mess. So what is the cause of this mess? Di ba kapag meron tayong tawag dyan, yung lata or bottle na nagko-contain ng soda, okay? Let's say for example, Coca-Cola or any soft drinks, di ba? Kapag, lalo na kapag tawag dyan na-shake natin siya, masyadong nagalaw, pag inopen natin yung can or yung pinaka-lid ng container, possible na magkaroon ng escape yung mga foam, di ba? So, para siyang sasabog. Okay po. So, ano kaya yung nagko-cause nito? And how are we going to apply Boyle's law in this case? So, ang sagot po dito ay, yan, letter C. Kapag inopen natin yung bottle, you're actually reducing the pressure. So, inside that bottle na hindi pa bukas, mataas ang pressure po. Okay? Now, kapag inopen mo siya, okay, magkakaroon ng pag-escape yung mga gases and therefore yung pressure ay mag-i-increase po. Kapag, magdi-decrease yung pressure kasi nga nag-escape sila. At kapag bumaba ang pressure, alam naman natin na ang volume ay tataas. So therefore, yung volume ng gas ay mag-expand. Kaya nga, meron tayong pag-cause ng mess na yun in a form of the foam po. So yung gas ay magra-rush palabas doon sa pinaka-container. So now, we now come to our second gas law, which is the Charles law. So supposedly, gagawa sana po tayo ng experiment on this, but parang hindi na siya possible considering that we are lacking time talaga. Eh po. But ito lang naman ang activity nito ay mag-highlight sana kung ano ang nangyari sa volume ng isang balloon kapag isinasubmerge natin yung balloon na yon sa mainit na tubig or sa napakalamig na tubig or covered by ice. So by the way, so this is the man behind the second gas law, yung Charles law, 'di ba? So we have uh, a balloonist whose name is Jack Alexander Cesar Charles. So this is the Charles law. So the Charles law is applicable only if N and P are constant. Meaning to say, wala tayong pakialam sa amount of gas and pressure po. So meron lang po tayong pakialam dito sa volume and temperature. And Charles was able to establish the relationship between the two variables, volume and temperature, and according to him, they are directly proportional. So ano ibig sabihin, sir, ng directly proportional? Kapag ang temperature ay umakyat, ang volume ay aakyat din. At kapag ang temperature mababa, ang volume ay bababa din. Okay? So this is opposite from the Boyle's law, 'di ba? Kasi sa Boyle's law, kapag tumaas yung isa, bababa yung isa. Pero sa Charles law, kapag ang isang variable ay umakyat o tumaas, yung isa ay tataas. Okay po. So ito yung pinaka-equation ng Charles law. At mamaya ay titingnan natin kung paano ito na-apply. Okay po. But again, volume and temperature are directly proportional. So in the Charles law, the Kelvin temperature of a gas is directly related to its volume. Take note ha, mamaya kasi ang temperature ay kailangan natin i-convert parate sa Kelvin. So kapag sa isang problem, ang temperature ay nasa degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit, kailangan po natin siyang i-convert parate sa Kelvin. Sir, bakit naman? Because the standard unit for the temperature is Kelvin po. So kinakailangan natin i-convert ang Kelvin, ang temperature sa Kelvin bago po tayo mag-solve. So again, when the temperature of the sample of gas increases, the volume increases. Diba? So this is achieved kapag constant din ang pressure. So again, temperature and volume relationship tayo. So just like here, wherein the temperature is double, di ba? Kapag ang temperature ay mababa, we expect the volume is also less compared to the other one, wherein the temperature is somehow being doubled. So yung volume naman ay nadodoble din. Okay, so kapag pinaintindi na natin siya kanina, di ba, doon sa kinetic molecular theory. Kapag mataas yung temperature, gumagalaw masyado yung mga particles causing the expansion of the gases. So nag-increase yung pinaka-volume. So kapag meron ganito tayong setup na kapag ang balloon ay inilubog natin sa napakalamig na tubig at i-compare natin siya sa isang balloon na nilubog natin sa hot water. Okay po. So yung dalawang balloon ay may pagkakaiba in terms of its diameter or the size. So kapag ang balloon ay nilubog natin sa malamig na tubig, that balloon will shrink. Yan po. So shrink, ibig sabihin po, liliit. Yan po, liliit. Kapag ang balloon naman ay nilubog natin sa mainit, the balloon tends to expand. So, kung nagkakaroon ng expansion, therefore, lumalaki po yung size or yung pinaka-diameter ng balloon. So, kapag malamig, mababa ang temperature, mababa din po ang volume. In that case, yung size ng balloon. Pero kapag ang temperature ay mataas at yan ay nangyayari sa mga mainit na object, ang volume po ay tumataas din. Kaya nagkakaroon ng pagbabago sa size ng balloon. So again, this one is Jacques Charles. He was a balloonist. In 1787, he did several experiments showing how volume of gases depends on temperature. So, parang ganito yung mga data na nakuha niya, di ba? Na kapag tumataas ang temperature, ang volume ay umaakyat din. At kapag mababa ang temperature, ang volume ay bumababa din. So now, how do hot air balloon works? So this one is a very good example of the Charles law. 'Di ba, sino na sa inyo yung nakakita ng hot air balloon? So, paano po ba nag-work ang mga hot air balloon? So, in the case of a hot air balloon, upon ignition of the fuel, the temperature of the air inside the balloon is increased. So, meron ditong source ng temperature, 'di ba, or heat. So, kapag nagkakaroon ng ignition ng fuel, yung temperature inside the balloon is also increased. So, as a result, the volume of the gas increases, and that is accordance to the Charles law. So, kapag mainit, itong init na to, heat na to, ito ang nagkukos sa pag-expand, okay, or pagtaas ng volume ng gas inside that hot air balloon. So when the air inside the balloon expands, it becomes less dense and provides the lift for the hot air balloon. So yung pinaka-temperature sa loob ng balloon ay mainit, 'di ba, mataas. So kapag ganoon, yung volume ay aakyat din. At kapag yung volume ng gas ay nagkaroon ng pagtaas or nagkaroon ng expansion, yung balloon, nagkakaroon po ng pagbabago yung density ng air also inside the balloon at nagiging siyang less dense. Kaya kapag ang less dense na air ay nandoon, yun yung nagkakaroon ng allows the balloon to be lifted. Ayan po. So kaya siya umakyat because of the density, the less dense of the air inside that hot air balloon. Ito po yung pinaka-original na ginawa ni Charles. Okay po. So, tingnan nyo na lang to. So, ito, again, Charles law is a law that states that volume of a gas varies directly with the absolute temperature. Take note of the word absolute temperature. Why absolute temperature? Because we need to convert, again, degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit into Kelvin. And because Kelvin is a unit for absolute temperature. So, ito po si Jacques Alexander Charles, isa siyang mathematician, physicist, inventor, okay, na nabuhay po sa France. So now, we now come to the equation which we introduced a while ago. Ito po yung tinatawag natin na Charles equation. So, the Charles equation is just that the initial volume, the quotient of the initial volume and the initial temperature is equal to the quotient of the final volume and the final temperature. So V sub 1 divided by T sub 1 is equal to V sub 2 divided by T sub 2. So that is the Charles law, the original Charles law equation. But out of that equation, we can derive four equations po. So ito po yung pinaka-equation, di ba? Yung ito. So now, let's apply your knowledge about mathematics, di ba? So para hindi tayo mahirapan, itong equation na to ay gagawin natin siya na parang dire-diretso lang. So in order to do that, we need to apply the cross multiplication. So paano ba sir in-apply ang cross multiplication? So cross. So B sub 1 times T sub 2. Ito na po siya. And then equal sign, that is V sub 2 times T sub 1. So, itong equation na to, okay, ay similar lang po dito sa equation na to. So, we have also an equation that reads V sub 1 times T sub 2 is equal to V sub 2 times T sub 1. Okay po. So, ito din po ay yung tinatawag natin na Charles equation. So, out of this equation na to, pwede pa tayo makahanap ng apat pang equation. 'Di ba? Katulad ng ginawa natin doon sa Boyle's Law, wherein para makuha mo ang V sub 1, tatanggalin mo itong T sub 2 at ibababa mo doon sa right side. That's why we have this equation. Para makuha mo naman yung V sub 2, which is this equation, ay po, tatanggalin mo yung T sub 1 at ililipat mo doon sa left side. Kaya meron ka ng ganito. Okay po. And so on and so forth. So meron po tayong apat na equation. Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, and equation 4. So ang equation 1 ay gagamitin mo lang kapag yung nawawala ay yung initial volume or the V sub 1. Ang equation 2 naman ay gagamitin mong formula nito kapag ang nawawala sa problem ay yung V sub 2, which is the final volume. At ang T sub 1, ang equation number 3, ay gagamitin mo kapag nawawala yung T sub 1 or yung initial temperature. And lastly, we have equation 4, gagamitin mo kapag nawawala po yung T sub 2 or the final temperature. Ulitin ko po bago kayo mag-solve, kinakailangan na ang temperature po ay na-convert nyo into Kelvin, and because that's the absolute temperature. So, this is the Charles law which we discussed a while ago, and I hope, ulitin ko po kapag ang temperature ng sample of gas ay nagtaas, ang volume po ay tataas din. So, volume and temperature relationship. Kapag ang temperature ay mataas, ang volume ay mataas. Kapag ang temperature ay mababa, ang volume ay mababa din. So now, we now come to the sample problem. Okay, consider this sample problem. Let me read. A sample of oxygen gas has a volume of 420 ml at a temperature of 18 degrees Celsius. At what temperature in degrees Celsius will the volume of the oxygen be 640 ml? We assume that pressure and N, or the amount of gas, are constant. So naka-state na itong dalawa na to ay constant, and yung mga given lang, it talks about volume and temperature. So kapag volume and temperature ang pinag-uusapan, dyan po papasok yung tinatawag natin na Charles law. Now, in order to solve this problem, syempre kailangan mo siyang intindihin, di ba? So sabi daw dito, meron kang gas na merong volume na 420 at may temperature na 18 degrees Celsius. Ano daw ang magiging temperature kapag ang volume ng gas na yon ay magiging 640 ml? So from 420, magiging 640. Para maging ganun na umakyat yung volume, ano ang mangyayari sa temperature? Tapos pag sinabi natin na mataas ang volume, ang temperature ay kailangan din mataas, di ba? Kasi they are directly proportional. So yung sagot mo dapat dito ay relatively na mataas kumpara sa 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's try to see that. So paano ito sinusolve? Again, we have the 5-step solution. Let's start with the given. The first given is the volume, initial volume. We have 420 ml. The second given is 18 degrees Celsius, and that is the initial temperature. Take note, we added 273. Okay, so bakit ba sir nagdagdag ka ng 273 sa given? Because take note that the temperature is expressed in degrees Celsius. So, di ba sabi natin, kinakailangan na ang temperature ay nasa Kelvin. At para mangyari yan, kailangan mo parating magdagdag ng 273. Or in some other references, that is 273.15. But in our case, dagdag na lang po tayo ng 273. So, yung 18 ay kinakailangan mong dagdagan ng 273 para makuha mo yung equivalent unit ng 18 degrees Celsius sa Kelvin. And in this case, we have 291 Kelvin. I hope naintindihan po Nagdadagdag tayo ng 273 kasi kailangan natin ma-convert yung degree Celsius into Kelvin because Kelvin is the requirement for Charles' law. And also, we have the V sub 2, we have 640 ml. So, ito lang tatlo ang given, di ba po? So, ang mahirap lang dito, yung temperature kasi kinonvert natin into Kelvin. So, hinahanap natin dito kung may V1, T sub 1, V sub 2, ang nawawala ay T sub 2. And nakastate naman sa problem na ang T sub 2 ay kinakailangan mong mahanap in degrees Celsius. So, kung kinonvert mo yung temperature into Kelvin, ibabalik natin siya sa degrees Celsius. But later on, we will try to explain that. But in order to determine the answer, we need a formula. And in that case, the formula is for T sub 2 or the final temperature. At dun sa na-derive natin equation kanina, that is equation number 4. And that is T sub 2 is equal to V sub 2 times T sub 1 divided by V sub 1. Now, let's apply this formula in our solution. So, ito na po yung pinaka-formula, di ba? So, ang gagawin lang natin, magsa-substitute lang tayo. So, yung V sub 2, that is 640 ml. Yung T sub 1, ang gagamitin na po natin dito ay yung 291 Kelvin na na-convert natin. At ang V sub 1 ay 420 ml. So, in this case, yung ml ay makakancel po. So, ang matitira po ay yung unit ng Kelvin. Okay po. So, yung 640, ito times mo lang ng 291. And this is in the numerator po. At merong 420 sa denominator. So, 640 times 291, that is 186,240. And we need to divide that by 420. So, ang final temperature natin ay merong 443.43 Kelvin. But, hindi pa po ito final answer. Bakit? Ang answer natin ay kailangan naka-express in degrees Celsius. Ito po. Ito po ay Kelvin. So, sir, paano naman, sir, kung may Kelvin ka? So, kanina, di ba, yung Celsius, dinagdagan mo ng 273 para maging Kelvin. This time, yung Kelvin ay babawasan natin ng 273. So, parang pabaliktad. Ayan po. So, from degrees Celsius, kung kailangan natin maging Kelvin siya, magdadagdag ka ng 273. Pero kapag we want to convert Kelvin into Celsius, it's the opposite process. Magbabawas ka ng 273. So, ang sagot po dito ay 170.43 degrees Celsius. So, para mangyari na ang volume ay umakyat from 420 to 640, kailangan ang temperature ay umakyat din from 18 to 170.43 degrees Celsius. And I hope that's clear. And we have this last problem na nasa book nyo. I derived this from your book. I got this from your book. And let me read the problem. A cylinder with a movable piston contains 250 cubic centimeter air at 10 degrees Celsius. If the pressure is kept constant, at what temperature would you expect the volume to be 150 cubic centimeter? So in this case, yung volume ay from 250 magiging 150. Okay? So ang volume ay bababa. Kapag ang volume ay mababa, i-expect natin na yung temperature ay kailangan mababa. So from 10, the temperature, ilan kaya ang makakompute natin at tingnan natin mamaya. So let's start now with the given. So the given are V sub 1 is equal to 250 cubic centimeter dun sa initial volume. Initial temperature is 10 degrees Celsius. Again, since degrees Celsius po to, magdadagdag tayo ng 273 in order to get 283 Kelvin. And finally, we have V sub 2 or the final volume we have 150 cubic centimeter. So, ang hinahanap din natin dito ay parehas ng problem number 1 ay yung final temperature at kinakailangan din natin siya, syempre, may compute in degrees Celsius. Bakit? Kasi yung given natin po dito ay degrees Celsius. So, okay lang yan. Ayan po, okay lang yan na the degrees Celsius, let's just be consistent. But, please do not forget to convert your given temperature to Kelvin. So we will be using the same formula. That's equation number 4. The same with problem number 1. So dito na po tayo sa solution. So applying this formula, we will have this one. So the product of 150 cubic centimeter times 283 Kelvin, this is the T sub 1, divided by 250 cubic centimeter. So itong cubic centimeter na to ay makakancel, matatanggal po to. So ang matitira ay yung Kelvin. So, i-multiply ulit natin yung 150 by 283 at sa baba po yung 250. Now, let's multiply 150 by 283. The result is 42,450. And that 42,450 must be divided by 250 in order to get our answer of 169.8 Kelvin. But in this case, we are not yet done because our answer must be expressed in degrees Celsius. And in order to do that, that 169.8 Kelvin must be deducted by 273. So 169.8 minus 273, ang result po natin ay negative 103.2 degrees Celsius. Sir, okay lang po ba na ang temperature ay negative? Yes. Okay? So, yung 0 degrees Celsius, di ba, na sinasabi natin ay malimig na, but there are also temperatures below 0. And those are negative centigrade po, or mga negative value ng degree Celsius. And in that case, our final answer is negative 103.2 degrees Celsius. So, tama po ba ang nangyari sa temperature natin from 10 ay hindi po siyang negative 103.2? Alin po ba dito yung mas mataas sa dalawa? Of course, yung 10 kasi positive siya. So, bumaba yung temperature natin. So, I hope clear sa atin yung Charles law. Okay? So, it's just a law that states that the volume of a gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. So, kapag ang temperature ay mababa, we expect that the volume is less or lesser. Kapag ang temperature natin mataas, ang volume natin ay mataas din. Ito ang rason kung bakit, kung bakit yung mga gulong natin during summertime ay sumasabog because nagkakaroon ng expansion yung air inside the tire or yung mga gulong po. And I hope clear sa atin yung tinatawag natin na Charles law. Thank you for listening and good luck sa pagsagot ng inyong sheet work. It's homework. So ito po yung task nyo. Okay, you need to solve 2 problems, and these 2 problems are found in your module or in your book. Okay, we have number 2 and number 3, and both of this involve the use of the Charles law equation. Good luck po sa pagsagot, and marami po tayong checkan sa pagbalik natin sa Wednesday. Bye-bye.